Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Interviewing the Legends. I'm your host, Ray Shasho. Spirit of Unicorn Music are delighted to announce a brand new album from District 97, Stay for the Ending. Featuring 10 brand new tracks, the album is the culmination of everything the Chicago based prog rock ensemble has worked towards during their last 15 years. Formed in autumn 2006, the band draws influences from a diverse array of musical styles, from heavy metal to avant garde jazz. This broad appreciation of musical genres has continued to inform the band's latest work and sees them further develop their sound and songwriting to ambitious new levels, upping their game in the areas of composition, performance, arrangement, production, and sonics. A friend of the band, Mr. Bill Bruford, agrees. In response to hearing the new album, he said, quality, expertise, and passion. Stay for the Ending is a massive piece of which District 97 should feel justly for. The autumn sees the band undertake a number of live shows in the US and Europe, including playing the Bedford in Balham, South London on Sunday, September 10th. Schang continues, I can't wait for the music world at large to hear it both on record and on the stage. Please welcome drummer, composer, and founder of District 97, Jonathan Schang, and lead singer Leslie Hunt to Interviewing the Legends. Hello, guys.
Hey
Hello,
Ray,
thanks
thanks
for
for
having
having
us.
us.
Oh, yeah, man. It's my pleasure. I tell you, man, first of all, I just want to say, Leslie, what was your experience on American Idol? I'm sure you get that question a lot.
Never actually. I'm glad you asked. I can finally talk about it after all these years. I'm just kidding. Great opener. Yeah, no, it was crazy. It was fun. It was probably exactly what I needed at the time to kind of jumpstart my journey as a professional musician and singer, particularly a performer. I think I learned a lot about myself as a performer from that, magnifying glass known as 36 million viewers. And it was cool. It was fine, very, very edited, very much a show.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very long experience, and yeah, it's been making my bio, larger than life ever since. So
Exactly.
yeah.
It really stands out. I don't think Simon Cowell knows anything about prog rock. I mean, if he saw you now in this band, he wouldn't know what to say. How did you finish anyway?
I was top 20.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of contestants on that show and a lot of, you know, dumb acts too, I guess.
Yeah. There was 104,000 people the year that I was on it
Holy
that
cow.
auditioned.
Wow, that's
Top
crazy.
20 feels pretty good.
How long was the whole process until you finally, got picked?
8 months.
Gosh. See,
Mm-hmm.
nobody knows that.
I know.
The audience has no idea.
The audience has no idea. Like you're living
Yeah,
in a hotel for months with
really.
another contestant and just
Huh.
being picked up in the morning, dropped off at night, and you're kind of supposed to lay low and like hide because you're a
Hmm.
secret. It's just very strange.
That's crazy. Sounds
Hmm.
like sounds like The Bachelor.
Yeah,
You probably go
yeah,
through similar stuff.
right.
Yeah, Ray,
Wow.
let us know how your bachelor experience was
Yeah,
too.
right. My wife loves that show. The Bachelor, The Bachelorette. She watches all that. Sometimes I'll watch it with her. Well, District 97, I found out the name and how you came up with that. It was a school district, correct?
That's right, yeah. Here in Oak Park, Illinois, where I am currently coming to you from.
I was a little disappointed you got the name from that because I was thinking maybe Hunger Games or
No,
aliens, some kind of alien thing.
well, it's meant to be channeling that sort of vibe.
Okay.
I just thought District 97, if you take it out of its context, it has just kind of a mysterious allure to it. But yeah, the true origins are much more prosaic.
Yeah, I love the name. You know, the name is cool. There was a movie out too, District 6 or something like
Uh,
that.
yeah,
Aliens.
District 9, yeah. So a
District
lot of
9.
people, yeah, we started around the same time as that movie came out. So
Yeah, I
a
saw
lot of
that movie.
people, I
Yeah,
did too. It's good.
I did
yeah.
not.
I thought about you guys, you know, when I heard the name. Stay for the ending. I think the official release date is October 20th. Here's what I said about the album. You ready, guys?
Hmm.
I'm
Stay
ready.
for the Ending by District 97 is a brilliant album by a profound American progressive rock group. Leslie Hunt's stunning vocals are haunting and enchanting, which magnify the essence of the group. The band's intricate musical styles are mind blowing, performing frequent changes in tempo, reminiscent to some of the methods used by Brit legends General Giant. Their musical styles are forthright and awe inspiring. That came from me. Hope you like it.
Wow.
Thanks, Ray.
Super nice. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
You guys are a very
Appreciate it.
intelligent band, you know. And when I said General Giant was a very complicated band, and I could see that they did a lot of changes, you know, in the melody like you guys do. What came first? Did you write the lyrics first, or did the music come first?
The music, I think, has always come first for the most part for the band.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
Sometimes with a melody, sometimes not, usually with though. And then I've written some melodies, but I would say for the most part, I'm given a melody and then I'll write the words and then kind of tweak the melody a little bit if the, you know, but yeah, I think, wouldn't you say, Jonathan? That's
Yeah.
usually what happens.
So yeah, basically kind of the default approach is one of us will come in with a piece of music that's you know, pretty well far along. And if we don't have an idea of what we want lyrics to be, we will let Leslie kind of do her thing on it. Or sometimes even if there are lyrics, she will still do her thing on it, which is totally fine because she always improves upon it anyway. So yeah, but yeah, it's always the music pretty much is kind of the bedrock of the whole thing.
I tell you, man, there's nothing like a girl singing in Prague. I mean, you know, I've always blown away by that. They just get away with it so easily, you know, because you know, it's like I said, it's haunting. You know, it's just hard to explain, you know.
And there's just
Women
not
in
as
Prague,
many, you know.
there aren't as many now, but there used to be, you know.
Oh,
There used to be, and there needs to be more. But you do an outstanding job in the band. I hope you're not going anywhere.
no way. Yeah.
I hate
No.
to say that, and I know, you know, you want your career to flourish and everything, but I love you in this band, you know.
Thanks. I recently made a big shift to my life in the hopes that I'll be able to focus way more on District 97 and way more on my own original music as well. And just on original music in general after, you know, about 15 years of really working for a company that did high-end private events that kind of anchored me in town most weekends. And then for us to get away, it was like a big deal.
Right.
So now I'm considerably free to do whatever opportunity comes along, you know, finally in my, you know, 40s where I have the availability that would have really come in handy in my 20s, but you know, better late than never. So, but I think Prague is not necessarily like, you know, you don't need to be, you know, a young know nothing to be, if anything, it ages really well as we age, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. And you got your own following, basically.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You know what's really cool though, especially prog bands. Most of these guys belong to 3 and 4 bands now. You know, I just talked to Rowan Stolt from the Flower Kings. You know, and he's involved with Transatlantic. He, you know, he was with all kinds of bands. You know, all these guys belong to 3 and 4 bands nowadays, so it's okay. It's acceptable if you want to do that, you know.
Right.
And I did go on your website too, by the way. I did check that out.
Cool.
Yep. So some of the tracks on the album I'm going to mention. Um, the guys in your band, a few guys on the band have really great resumes as far as like jazz and fusion and that kind of thing, and it shows, how they perform on this album. And you too, Jonathan. I mean, I was looking at your background as well. Very, very impressive, all of you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I loved Mirror. Very cool track. I called it Heavy Prog. And I love the duet. Leslie, are you singing with Jim on that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like to write parts for us to sing together because I think it's just so compelling to have a male and female like tight harmony in certain, I like to. Jonathan likes to write a lot of that too, and Tim wrote an awesome one for Crossfaded. So, yeah.
So you guys kind of all contribute as far as songwriting, basically, or?
Yeah, we all
Yeah.
have songs on this record.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
How did they get a hold of you anyway? I mean, from American Idol. Jonathan, how did you find her?
We knew
Well,
each other before because we went to music school together.
Oh, okay. So you guys
we
knew each
met.
other.
Yeah. And so then we were out of touch for, I don't know, maybe a year or two.
Right.
And I saw her on American Idol, and I was kind of starting to write music for District 97 that had vocals. We had been instrumental prior to that, and just kind of having heard her in some different contexts in the past, I thought that she could hang with some more unorthodox approaches to music. And yeah, it turned out to be a match made in heaven.
That was a good move, that from watching her on American Idol and say, hey, I think she can do prog.
Yeah, I mean, I was also thinking like we'd immediately have like 50,000 people at every show that we were doing, and that part didn't quite happen. But the musical part worked out perfectly.
Yeah,
I watched you actually on a cruise. You did the Alanis Morissette thing, and I think it was a tribute to the drummer who passed away. You did an excellent job on that song too, as well. And I don't think you're nervous in person on stage, are you? You don't seem to be. Yeah, you don't get nervous.
No, not at all. For better or worse, not at all.
Yeah.
Very comfortable up there. Very much. I have an alter ego that snaps into place, and that's that.
Very, very cool. Yeah.
It's fun.
Definitely. Like I said, Mirror is one of my favorite tracks. Many New Things, slower track, beautiful voice on that. And some great guitar work as well on Many New Things. The crossover song definitely had. You guys know Gentle Giant at all?
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what I mean about the changes in tempo and things like that? Gentle Giant kind of did. I don't know. I just kind of that kind of fusion and heavy prog stuff. I just got a feel for that and crossover in a way, which to me is very intelligent music. Is that Andrew on keyboards on that song?
That is, yeah. He plays all the keyboards throughout the album.
Yeah.
And throughout this world of District 97, there's no one else playing keyboards, I don't think, at any given time.
Yeah, he's an excellent keyboard player as well.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. This is a great lineup you got, this band. I just hope you guys, stay with it for a while,
No plans to the contrary. So.
Good. Divided We Fall was another great track. Life Cycle. Wow. Kind of a whimsical feeling to that one. Loved it.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm really happy with how that one turned out.
Who wrote that one?
That was me.
That was you.
Yeah, so that came about because we had started covering Matakudasai by King Crimson in our sets to kind of give ourselves and the audience a bit of a breather. And it got me thinking we should have an original that can fulfill the same role. So I started messing around, trying to write something that was more contemplative than our music often tends to be. And the lyrical inspiration was after reading the book Childhood's End by Arthur C. Clarke of 2001 fame. Yep. So yeah, and actually we'll be playing it live for the first time tomorrow at the first gig of our Stay for the Ending pre-release tour in Chicago.
Oh, awesome.
Which will have already happened by the time people see this.
So are you going to play the entire album live?
The vast majority. I think we might have to skip a song or two just due to set length constraints at some of the shows, but people will be definitely getting a heaping helping of it when they come out to see us.
You know what has to be a difficult song is Deck is Stacked live, or do you play that with ease live, or have you played it live?
We've been playing it for a minute.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we've been playing it for like a year and a half ish.
Huh.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah. It's I mean, it's like there's not as much crazy time signature shifts and all that to keep track of in that one. So I wouldn't say it's one of our most demanding, but it does feature a drum solo.
Yes, it does. Yeah, somebody shines in
that. To memorize the words.
Wrote in for me, and there's a lot of Leslie probably has the hardest job on that one because it's kind of like prog rap. The lyrics are rapid fire,
and it's like a list. So hard to memorize a list, Yeah,
it's got to be difficult. I was looking for the lyrics on that. I couldn't find it anywhere. I guess it hasn't been released yet.
Yeah, well, they'll be in the CD booklet.
Right.
I don't. Yeah. Maybe on Bandcamp you might be able to see the lyrics. There's a Bandcamp pre-order up, and I did put the lyrics for each track on there.
Yeah, when I was listening to Leslie, I wanted to follow along, with the lyrics, because it's very cool. Love the way you do that, and you memorize that, huh? And you perform that on stage.
Yep.
No cheat sheets.
I had cheat sheets. I had like the first word of each one, but I remember Jonathan when we were in the car, and I was just working on it, and we were just like running lines basically, and so he's like looking at it, and I would just like be driving, and he's in the passenger seat, and I'm just like and he's just like, no. Or like it's this and then that, so it's just like muscle memory. So I would imagine that me memorizing that probably was as hard as them memorizing basically everything that we play. It's just, it all has to become muscle memory. But for the most part, just singing and memorizing lyrics is like easier, I think. But maybe
I could see Jonathan showing you index cards before the show, on the way to the show.
Flashcards.
Flashcards, yeah.
Memorize flashcards.
Sounds like learning for a test. It does. Really does. I like it. X starts out with that short excerpt, and then he goes into X faded. I like the machine sounds in that. I mean, that's got to sound great live. Too.
Towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little hard to recreate that live, so honestly, we're kind of chickening out a little bit for the end of that song.
Hey, Pink Floyd did it.
We've got an alternate ending that works well.
Pink Floyd did it. You got to do it.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll figure out a way to make that happen.
That would sound great live, especially if it's like real loud and you got some kind of effects, Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a nice theatrical moment.
Oh, definitely. Have you thought about that? Any kind of theatrics in your shows, or do you do that?
I think about it all the time.
Yeah.
I think that this music would be so perfect for, like an involved light show or projection in the back.
Oh yeah.
Just it's such like cinematic music at times that I think that'd be really cool to incorporate some of that, but until we have that, I just dance around a lot.
Yeah, Leslie brings the theatrics
I just
pretty well.
Like a one-woman show.
Yeah. So, but some of our music videos are pretty theatrical, particularly the Ghost Girl animated film, which is on YouTube if people want to check it out. So So yeah, we do bring that element in when we're able to.
you hit it right on the head when you said cinematic. I mean, all your tracks are basically cinematic. You know, I could even, you know, they'd be great as a soundtrack for a movie. You know,
Well, yeah. I still want to get The Perfect Young Man in the Devil in the White City film if and when that ever comes out.
right?
That'd
That
be
would be
cool.
nice. Yeah, very cool. Well, the guys in your band, like I said, they're very trained, very great background. Jim, for instance, I mean, he's played with Wynton Marsalis and all kinds of people. So he's got a great background as well into jazz. You got some kind of ballet thing going on there too, right, Jonathan? Your background?
Well, yeah, not as a dancer, but I play
Right.
music for dancers almost every day here in Chicago,
Really?
for modern dance or ballet.
Like, what do you do? How do you do that?
Well, basically the way it goes is during the class, the teacher will demonstrate the exercise, and while that's happening, I come up with what sort of music I want to play to help support them to do it to the best of their ability.
Hmm.
So it's a pretty cool day gig.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, your improvisation chops are probably just insane from that, just like all you get is a tempo, and then you're just like, cool, here we go.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
What's
kind
the
of
name of the school? Is it
there are a bunch of different ones, but well, the most well-known company I've been working with recently is Hubbard Street Dance.
right?
Still smell
Um,
good.
yeah, but I'm also at Columbia College here in Chicago, and
Hmm.
uh, I've worked with the Joffrey Ballet also, and a bunch of
Wow.
other places.
Nice. Do they ever want you to go on tour with them or anything like that?
Well, I recently did ask the director of Hubbard Street Dance about actually maybe using crossover or life cycle with
Hmm.
something they're going to do this season. So that's hasn't really been discussed in any detail yet, but it would be cool to collaborate in a performance context.
My granddaughter loves ballet. She takes classes and that's so hard. I don't know how girls perform ballet. That's, people don't realize how tough that really is,
Yeah,
you know. I've
for
talked to a
sure.
few ballet dancers, and you remember, you guys know I Love Lucy, right? The
Hmm.
show. You
Yeah,
remember Little Ricky?
yeah.
Okay, I interviewed Little Ricky. He's also a
Okay,
musician,
okay.
and he owns a ballet school in
Oh,
Tennessee and no, Mississippi. It's very well known too, him and his wife, and they do very well.
that's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. I was surprised too when that happened. You guys were inspired by Liquid Tension Experiment, right? Is that right?
Yeah, that was kind of like a template for the early District 97 before Leslie joined. Them
Right.
and Planet X were kind of the two we were trying to model ourselves after.
And you're a big Yes fan, is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty gigantic Yes fan.
Well, I've interviewed all the guys from Yes, even Chris Squire.
Nice.
Uh, they're all good guys. I did get mad at Chris Squire for um, telling John Anderson he was no longer needed because I'm a big John Anderson fan.
Same here.
Yeah. Uh, and I was talking about earlier about E Molecule and Simon Collins, that we had him on the show recently as well, and another good guy. But you guys actually toured with John Wetton, which I'm very impressed. That how did that tour go? How was that?
We did a couple, right? It was like we did one, and we toured Europe with him, and then we
Right.
also toured the East Coast. We're kind of around the same time, I guess, so maybe they were considered one kind of extended, right,
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan?
Yeah, it was. They were both in 2013, and
Yeah.
one in the spring, one in the fall, and yeah, it went really well. I thought
Mhm.
just to collaborate with a musician of that caliber was and to do it so closely, for many nights, was a very special experience, especially because that was some of the last performances he ever did.
Right.
Mhm.
Did you get to perform with him as well, or no?
Oh yeah, we were his band. So there
Your
we
was
have a live.
band. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
we have a live album together called One More Red Night, which features us playing most of his King Crimson repertoire with him.
Wow.
And that was the first time he had sung much of that music in 40 years, and also the
Hmm.
last time that he sung most of it. So, yeah, it's definitely an honor that we were able to share that with him.
So you performed the Red album as well from King Crimson?
No,
The
it was like
bulk
a
of it,
bunch of different songs, right?
yeah,
From
it was pretty much almost everything he did on
Right.
Lark, Starless, and Bible Black, and
Hmm.
Red. Is we also did a 21st Century Schizoid Man with him,
Wow.
and in at the Iridium in New York City, we did a In the Court of the Crimson King with Ian McDonald also guesting with us on stage. So that was pretty surreal.
I interviewed Ian, and of course he passed away.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was a good guy as well.
yeah,
People don't realize how much he did on that album. I mean, he was, really did most of it, on that, especially on that song, as far as writing and, composing and everything. He was, and of course, I think he was in Foreigner as well, right?
yeah.
Ian McDonald. Yeah.
I actually have to get going.
Okay.
So thank you so much for chatting with me, and thanks for the
Sure.
wonderful review, and thanks for having us on your show.
Well, thank you for being on the show. It was
Forward to listening to it.
a very pleasant surprise because I wasn't for sure you were going to be able to come on, from the beginning. So I thank you for being on the show. You guys
Absolutely.
you're incredible.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Hope to
I'm a
meet you
big
in person
fan.
one day.
Yep,
All right.
definitely. I hope you come to Florida.
Ooh, I mean, we will if we're yeah, right. We're coming to
Well,
Florida.
we've been to Florida. Well, we often do the cruise to the edge, to
Right.
the side of Florida. So
You might be doing the
we're,
Prague and the Ranch coming up, right? Or
yeah,
no?
we'll see. Yeah,
TBD.
we're trying to get our way down to Florida. Kind of next spring.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you need any help with venues in the Tampa Bay area, I can help you because I know all the promoters in that area. So,
Okay.
Probably do.
yeah.
Jonathan is the man that does all the things.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll see
That'd be
you.
awesome.
Here.
All right.
See you tomorrow, Jonathan.
All right. Yep. See ya.
All
Thank
right.
you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. I was
So
going to
did you?
mention that. Yeah, the cruise to the edge. You filmed that section in the Taylor Hawkins tribute with Mike Portnoy.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a blast.
Yeah.
So did you want to keep going, you and me, for a
Yeah.
little bit?
Yeah. We'll
Okay.
do a little bit more here. I wanted to mention you got that upcoming tour coming, and tomorrow I think you'll be doing the show, right, in Chicago,
That's right. Yeah.
and that'll, I guess, kick off the tour, right? Pretty much.
Yep. That's the first show, and then we head over to Italy a little while after that for our
Wow.
first performance ever there at the 2 days Prague Plus One Festival, which is near Milan. And it's got a
Awesome.
really great bill with Big Train playing on the same day as us, and Pain of Salvation is also there.
And Pure Reason Revolution, which is a great band.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had Big Train on the show as well.
Oh, cool.
With a new album too from them. I love all these guys, man. There's so much great prog out there, and I've been interviewing a lot of guys from Norway and all Amsterdam and all over Sweden. I just had Rowan on from Sweden the other day, but America doesn't get a chance to hear a lot of these guys from overseas, so I try to bring them over.
Yeah.
And
Well,
introduce them.
that's what the cruise is good for. It brings a lot of those people stateside.
Plus, the European fans are very knowledgeable, and they're hip to prog and the blues and all of the U.S. music. So I don't know. I think they're a little bit ahead of us as far as music. We used to be there, but now, we're into so much poppy stuff now that we've lost. There's no good bands on commercial radio anymore.
That's true. Yeah, it's pretty much a wasteland.
It is. It's a shame. It really is. this one of the gigs you have, the Steve Rothery band. What are you doing with Steve? Are you actually playing with Steve, or is he on the bill? I see that in the Netherlands, right?
Yeah. So that's, I don't know if you know about Marillion Weekends,
Okay,
which they do in various cities around the world, and
right,
we joined them in Montreal in 2019 for one of those. So basically, it's that kind of model where, but it's just Steve's solo project.
right.
But I know he's going to be playing some early Marillion that I think they don't tend to play live anymore.
Yep.
So it's over the course of 2 nights, and uh, each of us will be doing different sets each night. So we're opening for him. We're doing a 45-minute set to start the night, and then Steve will be on after.
Well, that's incredible, man. I
Yeah.
love Marillion. You know, they've been around such a long time and put out so much great music. Really, really, really good band. All right. Well, here's your final question. Okay.
Okay.
This is a question I ask everybody. I get some very interesting answers. If you had a Field of Dreams wish, like the movie, to perform or collaborate with anyone from the past or present, who would that be?
Well, I'm a Beatle maniac, so
Really?
it would have to be something tied in with the Beatles. Yeah. Um, I mean, for as far as people who are still living, I would say Paul McCartney easily would be my number one choice. Yeah, I would love to have him guest. Well, actually, kind of related to this, I did ask Sean Lennon to if he wanted to sing on
Yeah.
Life Cycle, the
Right.
ballad on the album, because I did a demo of it where I sang, and I put on this like trippy kind of Lennon-ish type of effect in the middle. And I thought, I had like a brief correspondence with him over
Mm-hmm.
Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of similar to how we started things with John Wetton, just like an online chat that
Right.
evolved into a full-blown collaboration. So I was kind of hoping to pull the same rabbit out of the hat with Sean, but that didn't manage to happen this time around.
Well, don't
But
give up. Don't give up.
but yeah, I would, yeah, I'll say McCartney just because it's still at least a remote possibility right now.
I had Roger Chapman on the show today,
Okay,
earlier. You know, he's
cool.
from Family. He was in the
Yeah.
band Family. He said Paul McCartney.
Oh wow. Okay.
I get a
Guess
lot
you're
of Paul
getting that.
McCartneys.
I guess you're getting that a lot. Yeah.
I do get a lot of that. Yeah. But I get some interesting answers. Petula Clark, I remember her. She said Pink
Yeah.
Floyd, which
Oh
blew me
wow.
away. Robin Trower said James Brown. It's so funny. I asked John Anderson, has he ever met a Beatle? And he said, yeah, I met George Harrison. I said, well, what was that conversation like? I said, I couldn't even talk. I said, I was too nervous to talk to him. I said, John, you're Mr. Yes, man. How can you be nervous to talk to a Beatle? He says, oh, he's a Beatle. He's a Beatle. You know? I think it's so funny when they're heroes. They're just as nervous, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. The only guy I get a little nervous about, and I've interviewed him 3 times, is Ian Anderson from Jethro Tull,
Okay.
because he's a very intelligent guy, and
Yeah.
you got
Yeah.
to be on the ball with him.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you met anybody from Yes?
Yeah. Well, actually, I mean, as a kid, I went to so many Yes shows like in high
Right.
school, and I would, accost them whenever I could after the show. So I did manage to meet, yeah, John and Chris and Rick and Alan. But yeah, I mean, the best meeting with Alan, I got to talk to both him and Patrick Moraz on Cruise to
Mhm.
the Edge 2017, and I was
Right.
talking to Alan about like if John Lennon was a Yes fan, which he said he was, and I also got to just kind of be there while he and Patrick were talking about Relayer.
My favorite album.
Yeah, Patrick was saying to Alan, like, how did we come up with all that stuff? and Alan just said we were crazy. Like
Yeah.
they pretty much left it at that.
You should hook up with Billy Sherwood now.
Yeah, we met Billy too on
Yeah.
cruises. He's a great guy.
Yeah. But you know, I mean, I could see.
And Bill Bruford actually.
Well,
Well, you read the
yeah,
quote, yeah.
you
So
know Bill, right?
yeah, if you search Schang Bruford on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
Schang, you'll find a couple of videos of us together from about 10 minutes after we met at the Memphis Drum Shop, where I had to play this assortment of strange instruments and try to
Hmm.
sound good for him. And but it turned out well enough that we're still in touch now, kind of sporadically. And if I've got new music, I send it his way, and he always comes back with some very constructive feedback. So I'm hoping when I cross the pond here, maybe we can meet up for lunch or something.
Hmm. Very cool. Who's your favorite drummer of all time?
I'm going to give it to Bill because
Hmm.
just the breadth of incredible music that he's done in so many different contexts is really quite staggering. I mean, really anything he's involved in is worth your time.
Oh yeah.
So, and I think there are very few musicians for whom that's true.
Hmm.
And also the fact that he's taken a personal interest in me, that
Of
definitely
course.
puts him over the top to, to be my favorite.
I've always been a fan of Billy Cobham, and I know Billy. I've had him on the show many times, and of course, Buddy Rich has always been a favorite. The guy was amazing, great jazz drummer as well. But Alan's good too with Yes. He's been great with Yes for all those years. You know, he was
Yeah.
an
I
incredible
mean, like we
drummer.
were talking about Relayer. Yeah,
Yeah, I love
amazing
Relayer.
drumming on Relayer.
Oh, that what an album, man. You know, I don't think
Yeah.
Patrick Moraz got enough credit for that album. You know, everybody thinks
Yeah.
of Rick Wakeman. You know, but Patrick's and I wish he'd do more nowadays. You know, he after Yes, he went with the Moody Blues, and but he doesn't do too much. You know,
Well,
I've interviewed him a couple of times.
I think he's going to be at Prague Stock in October,
Oh,
which we did
good.
last year. So he seems to be popping up every now and then. Like I mentioned, he was on one of those Cruise to the Edges we did. So
Right.
yeah, you can see him if you're, I don't know, if you're paying attention, he does pop up
Hmm.
at some of these Prague events.
Are you guys booked yet for the next Cruise to the Edge, or what's happening?
I don't know that we will be on the cruise in
Hmm.
2024. We tend to kind of do every other cruise.
Right.
But we have been in touch about maybe being involved in some capacity. So
Hmm.
we'll see what happens. We'd love to be because it's always an incredible time.
Well, the album is great, man. I gave it 5 stars. I love it. Very intricate, very enjoyable album. That's why I like prog, because you get the best musicians on the planet that play progressive rock, you know, and you don't get that anywhere else unless you're listening to classical music or something like that. So I give you guys a lot of credit. I want to say special thanks to Billy James of Glass Onion PR for arranging this interview with Jonathan Schang. And pre-order the new album by District 97. Stay for the ending. I guess to pre-order it, you just go on Cherry Red Records, basically. Just pre-order.
Yeah, you can pre-order CDs there, and I've got a pre-order on Bandcamp for the digital.
Awesome. And you guys are on your official website, www.district97.net.
Yeah.
Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. You're on Spotify, Bandcamp, and also Leslie has her own website, www.lesliehuntmusic.com. Good luck on the tour, you guys. Okay, you got a big tour ahead of you. Enjoy. Keep doing what you're doing. You guys are incredible. Any thoughts of a new album coming out after this one? Are you working on anything or?
I've got some ideas percolating, and I know
Okay.
our bassist Tim also said he's got some stuff in the works. Another thing that people can take part in to tide them over is we have
Mm-hmm.
a subscription service called the Inside the Vault Club, which you can sign up for on our website.
Okay.
And we do like a physical release every year just for the members of that club.
Mm-hmm.
And the one for this year is called Tourween Plus, it was actually partially recorded in Florida at Prog on the Ranch near Tampa.
Oh, wow.
And so yeah, that's a live DVD, about 2 hours worth of material on it, and it's just for members of this club. So haven't really started promoting that yet because I've got a lot of other stuff to do first. But people will be able to get that quite soon if they join the Inside the Vault Club. So, and then they also get exclusive music from us every month. So even if it takes a while in between albums, if you join that club, you're gonna be hearing all kinds of stuff from us
Before anybody else gets it, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Yeah, that's incredible. All right, man. Thank you, Jonathan, for being on the show, man. I really appreciate it. Good luck on the tour, and fantastic album. Keep doing what you're doing.
All right,
That's all I can
appreciate
say.
it.
All
Thanks
right,
a lot,
man.
Ray.
Take care.
You too.
Bye.